guys, what's up? Welcome back. So in today's video, we're going to be testing out some new products, and some of these products I have been waiting to try out. So I was so happy to receive them in PR. I do have a PR unboxing on my Instagram, so over there you'll find more things than you like, as far as like PR hauls, information about my hair, just little random stuff that I don't have here on my YouTube channel. So if you guys are not following me on Instagram, I'll leave my little handle right here, so definitely check me out on there. I'm trying my best to be more consistent over there, so check me out. But anyway, we're gonna be doing a full day wear test with these products because I want to see if they're any good. I want to see if they last. I want to see, you know, what's worth it, what's not worth it, and you guys will get to see that as well. So if you're interested in seeing how this look came about using all of those products, then let's go ahead and jump right in. So before we get into primer, moisturizer, I'm gonna swatch both of these foundations on my face because they did send over 2 of these and also 2 of the new concealers by Urban Decay. So, oh, by the way, this is the Urban Decay foundation. Don't know if I mentioned that, but this is the Stay Naked Weightless Luminous Foundation, and this is supposed to be up to 24-hour wear. So since they sent over 2 shades, I don't know if they're gonna work. I don't know how they look, but we will go ahead and swatch them on my face so y'all can see you know, what they look like. So I have 70 WY and 70 WR. Hopefully these work, but I'm thinking this one is gonna be my match, 70 WY warm yellow, but we'll see. Does have a little pump, and the actual container is plastic, it's not glass, so this is what she looks like. I know some people like to see, you know, the packaging and all of that stuff, so that's what she looks like. But let's just pump it out and see which one is going to work. I'll pump out just a little bit of it. So that's 70 WY and 70 WR, so warm. I think it was warm red. They sent over like a pamphlet, and I was able to choose my shades. And the website that they sent me, like, to go on, it had like lists of foundations that would match these. So one of these is supposed to match the Maybelline 355, which is the shade I'm in Maybelline foundation, and the other one, which was, I think, 70 WR, is the one that is close to Maybelline 355, and 70 WY, this one is close to, I think, Fenty 330. I actually have to look it up to see, and I'll just update my description down below so that way you guys can kind of reference to that. But this is how 70 WY looks, and then 70 WR. But I'm just gonna swatch them on my face. So 70 WY is this one right there, and then 70 WR is that one right there. What do you guys think? Y'all know I prefer to use a foundation that's a little bit darker because once I start applying my concealer, it just evens out. I don't know which one to go for though. I think I'm gonna lean towards, I don't know. Let me at least blend it out, because I can always, I'm gonna take it off anyway, but let me at least blend out them on my face with this sponge. So that is, yeah, this one may be too dark. 70 WR, and I'm trying to use the side of my sponge so that way they won't touch. And then 70 WY. I feel like that one, yeah, that one is gonna be good right here. WY will be good, even though I can probably still use WR. This will be like a good summer foundation shade. I haven't really been in the sun much, but I'm gonna get a lot of sun next month because I'm going on vacation. But I think I'm gonna go for WY. So this since I have both of the foundations, this will be a good, I guess, winter, fall shade, even right now shade. And then the WR, 70WR will be a good summer shade if I have, like if I get darker. So there you go right there. So going into another new product I want to try out is the new Faced Hangover Serum. You guys, I have been waiting to try this out. So this is called the Hangover Good in Bed Ultra Replenishing Hydrating Serum. So I think you can use this under your makeup. It's actually like a hydrating moisturizer, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this as my moisturizer, and I'll use a primer on top of this. I mean, you can obviously use this at nighttime too in your skincare routine, but just for the sake of this video, I still want to try it out and use it as my moisturizer. So ooh, so it's really jelly. Ooh. It smells good. Ooh. I know I keep saying ooh, but ooh. This feels really watery. Like really watery. It's like I'm rubbing my face with water. And it smells just like coconuts. Oh, it smells so good. Okay. This feels really nice on the skin. And it kind of gets tacky once it dries down. And I'm noticing that it dries down really fast. I don't know if that's because I have my fan, like my ceiling fan on or what, but it does dry down really fast, and it does not feel heavy on the skin. It also gives me that nice glow too. So, so far so good. Now I don't know how, you know, my skin is gonna react to it, but I do like how it, you know, makes the skin look, makes the skin feel. Okay, next we're gonna be trying out the new Fenty primer. So they just came out with a new primer, and this one is more of a mattifying primer. So in my opinion, the original one, it also kind of gave me, like, it also kind of mattified my skin. That's if I left it on my skin for a few minutes to dry down. But once I applied it first, like, it kind of feels like you're applying a lotion or moisturizer. And I'm thinking this one is going to give me more, like, it's really gonna be a mattifying primer. So this will probably be good for oily skin. I do have oily combination skin, so super oily in my T-zone. So this hopefully is going to really help that. So I'm gonna put this pretty much all over my face because I really want to see how it's gonna work. So I'm gonna pump it out on my fingers, and it's pretty runny, kind of like the, actually, I don't know, is the first one this runny? I wish I should have just did a side-by-side comparison. Dang it, I already applied it on my face. It's okay. But going on the skin, it feels just like the original one. So it does kind of feel like you're applying moisturizer on the skin. We'll see how it looks once it dries down. I'm gonna put a little bit on my forehead. Really focus it right here. Yeah, it feels like the original one. And it also has that same scent too. All right, so now that I have it rubbed in, patted in, I'm gonna let this sit for a few minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows. I don't have any new brow products. So the brow pencil I'm gonna be using is this Revolution Pro brow pencil in the shade dark brown. Is it? Yeah, dark brown. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows. I always do these off camera because it takes the longest. I do have a brow routine on my channel. It's kind of old, but it's honestly the same thing that I do now. It's just that I don't make my brows as thick as I did in that routine. But if you guys want to see that routine, you can just type in Andrea Renee brow tutorial or brow routine and the video will pop up. But yeah, let me go ahead and do my brows and I'll be right back. All right, so I went ahead and filled my brows in, put on some concealer just to kind of clean them up. And you guys know I always go back and just kind of even them out once my entire face is done with the complexion products. But right now, let's go ahead and apply the foundation. Again, I'm going to use the shade 70WY. And I want to first see how good of a coverage it's going to give me. So I'm just going to pump out, I guess, let me see. Let me just pump out 2 little pumps like that. And we're just going to blend it out with my sponge. And this is, again, by Sonia Kashuk. You can get this from Target. But the color is definitely good. And the coverage is really, really good too. Okay, this is nice. And right off the bat, I can tell this is a really thin, like lightweight foundation. It doesn't feel heavy. So even though I'm getting a lot of coverage, it still doesn't feel like a thick, heavy foundation. And I'm noticing with this foundation, ooh, this dries down. Like, it doesn't feel tacky. It doesn't feel like, okay, is this a matte foundation? Hold on. Let me read the box. Flexible, breathable, real skin, matte. Okay, there we go. It's a matte finish. I should have told you guys that earlier, but yeah, it's a matte finish, medium buildable coverage, does not transfer. And you guys know what this is reminding me of? The NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop foundation. I did a full review on that if you guys want to see it. I'll try to find that video and have it linked down below, but you can always type in Andrea Renee, NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop, or whatever you guys want to see from me. You can always type in Andrea Renee and then whatever the product is on the YouTube search bar, and if I film the video on that product, the video will pop up. But yeah, this is definitely reminding me of the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop foundation. Like the way it feels kind of dry. Like my skin feels dry. So I don't know. Let's go ahead and apply the rest of it on the face and see how she's looking. Yeah, I probably should have used a hydrating primer instead of this matte primer, but I still wanted to at least try it out with you guys so you guys can see, you know, see the results since we are doing a full day wear test. And just by blending it out, it dries down so fast. Like, but anyway, this is how it looks. It's definitely already dried on my skin. Like, I can actually put my hand on here and there's nothing coming off. Let's do a transfer test before we go ahead and apply the other products. So I'm going to take a Shiseido pad and I'm just going to press it on my skin just to see. Yeah, nothing's coming off. Like, nothing is coming off. Nothing. Nada. Zip. Definitely transfer proof. But let's go ahead and apply some of the concealer. So it's called the Stay Naked Correcting Concealer, and I have two of these as well. And the shades that I have is 70NY and 70WO. But one of these shades is a it's supposed to match up with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Deep, and that's the one, that's the shade that I am in the Tarte concealer, and I think that one is 70NY. So this one is supposed to be the color of Tarte Shape Tape Deep, which, let me go ahead and pull it out. All right, so I have Tarte Shape Tape right here, and I don't know, it might be the 70WO, which might be the one that's comparable to Tarte. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch all three of them. So 70NY, I'll go ahead and swatch it. There's that one, 70NY. I feel like this is the one that I'm gonna be using because it's not too bright. And then 70WO, where do I want to? I'll swatch it right here because I also want to swatch the Shape Tape foundation. So there's 70WO. Okay, this one looks kind of peachy, so it has like a peach undertone. So I definitely will be using the first one, but let's see which one matches up to Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Deep. So if you guys have this concealer in this shade, you'll know which concealer to get in the Urban Decay concealers. So I'm gonna swatch Deep right here. There it is right there. So we have Tarte Shape Tape right there. Then we have 70NY right here at the top. And then 70WO right there at the bottom. So I'm glad my camera kind of went dark because you guys can really see the colors. But I'm gonna go for the first one that I swatched because it's not too light. I feel like this will be a good concealer shade for me. Now with these concealers, let me go ahead and read it. It is, whoa, that's in a different language. Okay, so it's buildable full coverage. So this is supposed to be a full coverage concealer. Flexible, breathable, does not transfer, real skin matte finish. So this is also matte. Corrects the look of imperfections, waterproof, and it is vegan. So yeah, we're putting a lot of matte products on my face. So I don't know how this is going to work out, but let's go ahead and apply it under the eyes. This is a good color though. I like this color. And I don't know if this dries down fast. Like, I don't know if I'm going to have to go ahead and blend it out really quick, but I'm just going to do the side like my under eyes and the sides of my nose, and then I'll go ahead and blend it out before we apply it on my forehead, nose, and chin, because I don't even know if this is going to dry down and be hard to blend out, but the color is good. I like the color. Have you guys watched my video where I did the I did Jackie Aina's concealer routine? Like, I applied, I think, a total of 4 or 5 different concealers, but it came out, I don't want to spoil it, but if you guys haven't watched it, I'll have it linked down below. You guys have to watch that video. But this is how the concealer is looking. Yeah, I can definitely go over it again with another layer. So I'm going to put on a little bit more. And this time I'll go ahead and do the rest of the areas of my face where I usually apply concealer, because I feel like I can definitely let this sit. Like, it didn't dry down too fast, so I'll just let this sit for a few minutes on the areas of my face like that, and then just apply the rest on the other areas. Yeah, my face is dry. Like, it feels so dry, but it doesn't feel tight. Like, it doesn't feel dry like without me putting my hands on my face, but when I put my hands on the face, it feels really, really dry. All right, now let's go ahead and blend the concealer out. Oh yeah, I like it with that second layer so much better. Okay, now that our concealer is blended out, let me see how the concealer feels. Yeah, it doesn't feel as dry as the foundation. The foundation is definitely dry, but the concealer, it actually feels hydrating. Like, it doesn't dry down as fast as the foundation. So it feels really comfortable, really nice. So far, I think I'm liking the concealer more than the foundation, but we're gonna go ahead and set the concealer. I'm gonna use the Thrive Cosmetics setting powder. This does not come as a surprise to most of you guys, because I've been using this in a lot of my videos recently. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this under the eyes, also wherever I applied the concealer. This is also, I'm using so many matte products, but this is also a matte product. So this setting powder is matte, but it's not like dry, like a dry matte setting powder. This definitely feels really nice. Like, it doesn't feel like your face is tight or dried out. That's why I like it so much. So, and it also does wonders with setting the concealer. Look at that. So now we have our setting powder sitting on the face. Usually I'll go back in with another pressed powder, like a pressed foundation powder. And I really wanted to try out the new Too Faced Born This Way setting powder, but I did receive the new setting pressed powders by Benefit. So these are called their Hello Happy Velvet Powder Foundations. So this one is in the shade 11, and then I have the number 10. These are also pretty much all the products that I'm showing are products that I did on my Instagram, like my PR unboxing. But just so you guys can see the colors, so this one is number 11, and then this one is number 10. So if I were to use this, I would definitely use this one, because this one looks a little bit too orange. So do I want to use it? I know my face looks like it already looks pretty matte. It feels dry. Do I want to use this? I'll use a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of it, like a tiny, tiny, tiny bit, just to at least dust off the rest of my setting powder and also kind of even out my face. So I'm just going to take my powder brush and dip it in there and just put it right here and kind of lightly dust it around here. Not too much of it, because I don't want to take away from the other products that I applied, like the foundation. I don't want to take away from it, and I don't want to change the color. And this actually looks nice. It doesn't look too dark. This is nice. Okay, so the face looks nice. It looks even and smooth. I know for sure I'm gonna spray my face. I'm gonna be using my Farsali 24K, what is this, the 24 karat rose gold skin mist. I'm not going to use it yet, but I'm definitely going to be using that on my face because I already know. But now that we have most of our complexion products on the face, I'm going to go back into my brows right here and just kind of smooth them out, even them out right here. And I'm using the little spoolie on my brow pencil to do this. Okay, so I'm finally pulling out my Winky Lux bronzer. I have not shared this or used this on my channel yet, but I have shared it in a haul. So this is the first time me trying this out with you guys. But this is what she looks like. It's pretty dark. This actually looks very, very, very close to the CoverGirl Ebony bronzer, like the new one. The one by, what is it, the CoverGirl Full Spectrum bronzer. But they just brought the bronzer back, if you guys don't know. So the Ebony bronzer is back. But this color looks very, very close to it, if not the same. So it's pretty dark. But yeah, this smells, smells just like coffee. And they call it their coffee bronzer. I need to be better at cleaning my brushes. I don't have a clean brush nearby, but this thing right here has been like everything because it pretty much takes all of the loose product off your brush. So if you're in between doing eyeshadow looks, you can just stick with the same brush and just wipe it off in this. This is a, what do you call these things? Color switcher, and I purchased this from Target. So let's see how this bronzer is gonna look. I'm just gonna tap my brush in it one time because it's pretty dark. And we're gonna go ahead and bronze the skin. Okay. Looks pretty. Definitely have to have a light hand with it though because it is pretty dark. But the color is really pretty. It kind of looks a little red, but it's still really, really pretty on the skin. And it also has a hint of shimmer to it. And the shimmer is like a rose gold. Do you see that? The shimmer? What I'm talking about? If I shift it a little bit like this, there you go. See what I'm talking about right there? I'm gonna take a little bit of my Fenty Beauty Cocoa Naughty and use this as my nose contour shade. I'm going to take a little bit more of my setting powder, and this is the part where I just let the setting powder kind of sit on the side of my nose while we go ahead and go with the eyeshadow. So before we move on to the eyes, I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick, and taking the same setting powder that we use and just lightly putting a little bit on the side of my nose just to let it sit and bake. All right, we're going to let her sit. So Prime Beauty, they just came out with a new eyeshadow palette called their Island Gal eyeshadow palette. So this thing right here is colorful. Not only is it colorful, you actually have shades in here that are good for those who are really scared to use color, because you have 1, 2, 3, 4 shades. Well, I'd say 3. This one, and this one. These 3 shades are good for everyday, like an everyday nice soft neutral look. So all the shades at the top are mostly metallics and glitters, and then the shades in the middle are your fun pops of colors, and then the bottom row is more of your everyday type of shades. And y'all know me, y'all know I love an all matte eyeshadow look. So I'm gonna play with the mattes today. I'm not gonna go into the glitters just yet, but the first shade I'm gonna go into is this one right here at the end, this coral color right here, and I'm gonna put this in the crease. I'm using my not Sigma, but Morphe M504 brush, my favorite blending brush, and we're just gonna put this color in the crease like this. This is cute. It blends really good too. Okay. I'm gonna go in with another layer of it just to darken it up a little bit more, give me more color. All right, the next shade I want to try out is this hot pink, and I'm kind of scared, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the same brush that I was using, and I'm gonna put this hot pink right here on the outer part of the crease in the lid. Just keep it right in this area right here, and just kind of buff it in. I'm gonna go in with that second layer, so that definitely darkened it up a little bit. Just keeping it right there. Like, I'm not putting it all over my lid or anything, just keeping it right here on the outer part of the eye. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off most of that product on my little color switcher, just so the brush won't have so much of that pink and that other shade that we use on it. And I'm gonna go back on the eyes, since there's pretty much nothing on the brush, and just kind of lightly blend everything together right here up towards my brow bone, so there's no harsh lines. Now I'm gonna go into this lighter tan color right here. This is called Dolce Leche. Can you guys see that? And I'm gonna take the same brush. One thing about me is I do not like switching out my brushes. I'm just, for one, lazy. Like, I don't feel like getting another brush to do this, and two, I feel like when I use the same brush, as long as I'm taking off most of the product, it just makes everything blend together so much better. But yeah, I'm using the same brush, the Morphe M504, and I'm just gonna pack that color right here where we did not apply any color. And I know these colors can show up even more if I, you know, use a eyeshadow primer or sprayed my brush with Fix Plus or something like that, but I prefer to have a really light, soft eyeshadow look. So I'm just tapping that color right here, and then lightly blending it in and kind of flicking it into the pink like that. That's pretty. So this side may look a little bit darker than this side. That's because my window is on this side, and it is, you know, it's daylight, so I'm getting more light on this side of my face. So this side looks a little bit darker, but they're both pretty. Like, I've applied the same amount of product on both of the eyes. All right, now I'm going to apply my lashes and do my bottom lash line. I'm just gonna go ahead and smudge it out. Well, I'm gonna apply a brown eyeliner, and then I'll smudge it out with this brown color right here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I will be back. All right, so our lashes are on. I'm gonna go back into the palette and get this shade right here. This is kind of like a champagne kind of color. I want to put a little bit of this right here on the tear duct. Let's see how this is gonna look. I'm just gonna put a little bit right there. Ooh, this fan is making my eyes water, but it gets hot in here, so I gotta keep it on. Ooh, that's pretty, pretty. I'm gonna drag it up a little bit on the lid like this. So I'm not gonna go into blush because I feel like my cheeks are already kind of rosy just from the bronzer. So I'm gonna leave that part out. Let's go ahead and dust this away. But highlighter, I'm gonna take my Makeup Forever highlighter. I haven't used this in forever. This is in my everyday makeup stash, and I customized this so I have 2 different shades in here. I'll leave the shades in the description below. Oh, before we go into that, let me go ahead and spray my face with my Farsali spray, just a little, because it does look a little dry. And I'm gonna take my damp sponge and just lightly press that spray into the skin. Oh yeah, that definitely made my skin look 10 times better. Now we can go ahead and highlight. Okay. All right, so the last step is the lips. So I also have these new lipsticks or lip glosses. What are these? These are the Vice Stay Naked Vice Lip Chemistry Glosses. This one is in the shade Physique, and then I have this one in the shade Streak. So I want to go for a bright, fun, colorful look, and I'm thinking, let me swatch them at least. I haven't even swatched them. Let's see, this one. Oh, these are like really sheer. Okay, these are more so a lip tint. So that's a pretty color. That's pretty. And then the other one is Streak. Oh, nah. We ain't gonna do that one. That one's too bright and pinky. Let's do the first one. How this looks on my lips. Yeah, these are definitely... Oh, yeah. These are like a lip tint. Very thin. I'm just putting that color right there on the center of my lips because I don't know how it's gonna look. I always like to work my way out instead of just applying the color around my lip line, because I never know how it's gonna really look, especially if I'm just trying out the lip product, and then just kind of work my way out. But the color is cute. I'll go ahead and apply it everywhere else. Yeah, really thin. And these are, I mean, they're supposed to be glossy. Oh, it's getting darker. Okay, so when I press my lips together and rub it, it gets darker. You guys see that? Like, it started out pretty light, and let me see my hand. Okay, yeah, so it definitely changes color. It gets a little bit darker. So this one is more of a orange tangerine, like a burnt orange color. And then this one is not as light as I thought it was. Like, at first I thought it was like a light pink, but that's so weird. Okay, I guess. Not really a fan of it though. Like, especially with the eyes, I'm not really a fan of how the color looks. But I mean, this is how it looks if you guys were trying to purchase it for yourself. Again, this is in the shade Physique. Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys the time. It is 1:32 p.m. So I'm going to go about my day and see how this face holds up. I'm gonna come back so you guys can see how it is looking. But so far, this is how she is looking. And I will go over the products that we use, give you guys my final thoughts, opinions, all of that good stuff at the end of the video. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go about my day, and I will check back with you guys later on. Okay, y'all, I am back. Time is 10:49 p.m. What time was it when we started? 1:30, 2 o'clock? I think it was around like 1:30. It looks like I just did my makeup. Even my T-zone, y'all know I get super oily right here, especially my nose. And it still looks like I just did my makeup. So primer is good, foundation is good as far as wear time, but let's kind of backtrack and talk about the products one by one. So first thing I want to talk about is the Hangover serum. I like this, okay? I like it. I like how it makes my skin feels like it really soothes my skin. I like how it makes my skin look glowy and is very light, very light. So I think I want to continue to use this before I do my makeup. Also, I want to try to incorporate it in my skincare routine, like at nighttime. So I like this, the Fenty primer. I feel like just by looking at my face right now, this is definitely going to be great for oily skin girls or guys, because y'all know, like I said, I get really oily in my T-zone, and it does not look like, it doesn't look shiny at all. Maybe right in here where it starts to crease, like my nose right there, maybe a little bit, just a tiny bit, but I honestly don't see any glow on my face except for the highlighter. Like this right here, this is gonna be great for like right now during this time of the year since it's hot. Y'all might need to get your hands on this if you are looking for a really good mattifying primer. So this is good. And I also like the fact that it doesn't make my skin feel tight or too dried out. I think using the Hangover Serum definitely helped with that, because this is it's a pretty matte primer, but using something like a moisturizer or a serum under your mattifying primers, even your matte foundations, like if you want to make sure that your skin does not feel too dried out, I would recommend using a moisturizer or some type of serum. So this, like these two, these are good together. Now let's move on to the foundation. Now I feel like when I was applying this on the skin, you guys heard me say that it dried down really quick, like it felt dry, and it kind of felt like, or reminded me of the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. I have a feeling that the Fenty primer like it helped with it being more, I guess, matte or dry on the skin. I actually want to use this again with another primer, something that's more hydrating. But as far as the longevity of this foundation, I've never worn a foundation for 24 hours, and this one is claiming to be a 24-hour wear foundation. But just by the amount of time that I have worn this face, this is a long wearing foundation. So if you have a long day, if you work 8 hours, more than 8 hours, and you are looking for a foundation that is going to last on your skin for a good period of time, then try this out. But as far as how it wears, very, very light on the skin, definitely does not feel heavy. Great foundation for the summertime, and the color is really good too. So I'm really glad that I picked a good shade for myself. So yeah, that is the foundation. All right, so really quickly, let's talk about the concealer. I like how I can layer this concealer and it doesn't look too cakey under the eyes. You guys saw that I went on with a second layer. The first layer, I felt it wasn't giving me the coverage that I like. So I went ahead and applied a second layer, and I really liked how it looked with that second layer. So I'm glad it's not one of those concealers that if you apply a second layer, it looks cakey. I'm glad it's not that. So you can definitely build this up. Even though this does say a full coverage concealer, in my opinion, it's more so a medium coverage. So I definitely was able to build this up, and the coverage is really, really nice. The color is perfect, and I am going to continue to use this. All right, so the Benefit Hello Happy Foundation Powder. I don't think I can really speak too much about this yet, because I didn't use so much of the product. Usually I kind of go a little bit heavier on a pressed foundation, but the reason why I didn't this time is because I felt like all of the other products that I had on my face was already, you know, kind of dried down. Like I didn't really need to apply this on the face. So what I'm gonna do is use more of this. I'm probably gonna go ahead and throw this in my everyday makeup stash for next month, and then I'll follow up with you guys like in another video or like a favorites and hated video and let you guys know my final thoughts on this. But I can't really say much about it because I only dusted on a very, very, very small amount on the face. But as far as how that small amount looked, I like how it didn't really change up the color of the foundation. So the color is actually really good. This is the shade 11, and I felt like it gave me a nice sheer coverage. Like it wasn't too dark, it wasn't too heavy on the skin. It was just a nice sheer coverage, just enough to kind of set everywhere else. I did not apply my loose setting powder, but yeah, I definitely will get more use out of this and, you know, follow up with you guys on that product. But so far, it's okay. All right, now let's talk about Prime Beauty's new eyeshadow palette. First off, Prime Beauty has some of the best bronzers for deeper skin. So if you are on the hunt for a good bronzer that is for people of color, definitely check out their bronzers. But this is their first eyeshadow palette, and I am really, really impressed with this. I love, 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 love that I can find a matte shadow that blends so good, that's not patchy, and that just applies so easily, and that is what this palette has. But yeah, the mattes in here are really, really nice. I do want to play with the glitters. You guys know I really don't play with a lot of glitter shadows on my channel because I feel like I don't know, I just always feel like every time I use a glitter shadow, I just mess up my look. But I know I need to, you know, practice a little bit more and just do more looks with glitter shadows. So I am going to play with this a little bit more and get a good feel of it and see what other looks I can create with it. But as far as how the mattes performed, I loved it. And then the last thing that was new in today's video were these new Urban Decay Vice, I always forget what you call these, the Vice Stay Naked Lip Chemistry Gloss Tints. So right off the bat, I did not like the color with the eyes, and as you guys see now that like there's nothing on my lips. So this actually wears off really fast. I was eating, I was drinking, and when I think of a lip tint, I think of something that's going to wear off. Like if it wears off on the lips, it still leaves that stain, and this did not leave the stain on the lips. So I don't see a stain. Maybe there's a little stain. Yeah, there's still a little stain around the line of my lips, but as far as right here, there's no stain at all. I've actually used some lip stains in the past, and once the product wears off the lips, I can still see the color on my lips because it left a stain. So these are gloss stains. I've never worn a gloss stain or tried out any glossy stains. The lip stains that I've had, am I saying it right? Lip stain? Lip tint. There we go. The lip tints that I have tried were more so like a matte or velvet type of lip tint, and they definitely kept that tint on the lips. But these this is my first time trying out a lip gloss that is a lip tint. So you kind of have a gloss and a tint in one. But yeah, it wore off really, really fast. It did not leave that tint on my lips. But yeah, so far I'm not a fan of these. I do want to try the brown ones because I do have a brown one in there and also a nude color. So I want to see how those look now that I know that once they dry down or once you kind of blot your lips, the color changes a little bit. So I'm very curious to see how those, like the browns and the nudes, are going to look on my lips. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about these. But yes, that is all that I wanted to share with you guys in today's video. By the way, I am doing a giveaway on my channel for this entire year. So every single month I give away one box to one person, and it's super easy to enter the giveaway. All you have to do is make sure that you are subscribed, make sure you thumbs up this video, as well as leave a comment down below in the comment section. And I really don't want the comments to be anything about the giveaway. Let's talk about these products. Let's talk about what you have used, what you've tried out, what you like, what you dislike. Let's talk about all of that. So let's go ahead and chit chat down below in the comments. And that is all that I have. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you thumbs it up. Make sure you are subscribed if you're not subscribed already. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.